Thanks, everyone. Okay, so we'll hop right into it today. As always, if there's anything extra that you need to support your practice this morning, if it's a sweatshirt or a blanket or blocks or pillows or anything you need to make yourself more comfortable, go make sure that you have that just within hand's reach, and then you can add and remove as needed. So we'll set ourselves up in a chair to get started, and it really can be any chair. It's okay if it spins a little. We're not going to spin. This is also the only chair that I have, so it works for me today. And I want to sit forward enough that I can feel my feet flat on the floor. So this might be a good place to have a prop. If your feet aren't reaching the floor, you can always bring a pillow or a blanket or some books underneath your feet, just so that your feet can feel grounded. And go ahead and just start to sit up nice and tall. Feel like there's an invisible string at the top of the head, and it's just gently pulling you up. You can allow your hands to rest wherever is comfortable, palms face up or down, wherever you feel most comfortable this morning. You're welcome to close your eyes or just soften the gaze. Start to feel the shoulders release away from the ears. Relaxing the jaw and the muscles of the face. Feel the parts of your body that are connected. Feeling the bottoms of the feet connected to the ground, or any support you have underneath the soles of the feet. Feel the backs of the legs supported by the chair. Maybe even a bit of the lower back. Connecting with the support behind you. And just start to tune in with your breath this morning. Just feeling the air move in and out. And often just by observing the breath, begins to get a little bit deeper, a little bit more intentional, a little bit more powerful. Just a few more moments here. Perhaps just starting to observe any sounds going on in the space around you, whether that's in the room that you're in the next room, upstairs, downstairs, or even outside. Just allowing those sounds to become a part of your practice this morning. reminding yourself that you can't do anything about them. You can just stay connected to your body and your breath. Let's take 3 deep breaths here. And taking a deep inhale, taking in as much air as you can, and letting it all go out. Feel free to make sounds if that helps. Release. Deep inhale, take in the air. And let it all go out. One more like that. Deep inhale. And let it all go. And if your palms were face up, go ahead and place them face down. And if your palms were face down, go ahead and reverse and have them face up. And you can always keep your eyes closed or your gaze soft. And just allow your chin to fall to your chest. So as you do that, let the shoulders come with you. So as you let your chin come to your chest, almost feel like you're trying to just curl your torso into a tight little ball. And then I want you to keep your chin to your chest, but feel your upper body lengthen. So that string that was at the top of your head is now moved to the back of your neck. And the lengthening is coming from the back of the neck as you let your head get heavy. And almost feel like you're trying to press the shoulders back. And just start to gently rock the chin across the chest really slowly. Now, just being mindful for a moment. So, if your eyes are closed, and if you start to do this, you're maybe feeling a little uncomfortable or a little dizzy, go ahead and just open your eyes. It can help to just kind of find a spot in front of you on the ground. We're just adding a little stretch of the neck, so I don't want you to feel dizzy or any other symptoms. So go ahead and let the chin roll all the way across the center of the chest, but then let your right ear come all the way to your right shoulder. So you can start to bring your gaze forward. And let your left arm just hang by the side. So if you have an arm rest, you can kind of just let it come on the outside and just let it dangle. I'm not trying to like reach it to the floor. I'm just letting the left side of my body lengthen a bit. So sometimes doing this neck stretch feels so simple, and you may feel a big stretch, you may feel nothing at all. But we hold a lot of tension in our neck and our upper back, and being just spending a few moments here and just help start to release the tension. So highly recommend this if you're on your computer all day or just in the midst of running around. One more breath. You can let that left arm come back. Let the chin nice and slow roll across the center of the chest, so that way your left ear can find your left shoulder. And if you don't like that rolling motion anymore, know that you can always bring the head just up through center. And you'll let the right arm come down by the side, and you're just letting it dangle. You're not trying to like force the head to touch the ear. A really subtle stretch. There's lots of tiny muscles holding up your brain. Couple breaths. One more. All right, let that right arm come back. And again, you can roll your chin to the center of the chest, or you can just lift your head straight up. So if you let your chin come back to the center of the chest nice and slowly, let's all meet with the head straight up. So that string has now come to the top of the head again. And just roll the shoulders back. So you can be really dramatic about it, making really big movements. And I'm going the other way. And let's just start to take some seated cat-cows. So just starting to round the spine, just like we did before. Let the chin come to the chest. Really feel like you're trying to create as much space in the back body as possible. And then finding the complete opposite. So starting to pull your heart forward, squeeze the shoulder blades together, maybe look up. And then round the spine. Curl yourself into a little ball, create lots of space in the back body. And then reverse that, create lots of space in the front. A couple more rounds. Okay, finishing up your next round. So maybe doing one more if you're completed. And coming back to a neutral spine. You have something underneath your feet. Just gently go ahead and move it out of the way. And let's just come to stand. I don't want us to stay sitting forever, especially because we probably sit all day anyway. I'm just turning my chair so you can see me from this side, but you can come to the back of your chair so you don't have to move it. And I'm going to use the back of the chair and just let my hands rest there. So I'm just, again, the string is still at the top of my head. I'm lengthening myself up nice and tall. And then I'm just going to start to rock a little bit side to side. So just noticing the weight shift from one foot to the other. And as I do that, I'm going to let all of the weight shift into my right foot and actually lift my left foot off the floor. So that might be just kind of letting it float and hover. Maybe I bend my knee a little bit so my foot is a little behind me. I have the chair, I can use it, or I don't have to. But it's there if I need it. Finding something in front of you that's not moving, so not like a pet, unless they happen to be sleeping. So that way you can kind of steady your focus. And then start to kick your heel to your butt. So it doesn't matter how far it goes. And flex the foot. So just be mindful at the back of the leg here. This action helps to strengthen our hamstrings right at the back of the leg, which can tend to be tight and a little weak. So if flexing your foot becomes uncomfortable in the back of the leg, just relax the foot and know that you can always do a little bend and lift it up. You don't have to stay completely still once you find it. And you might start to feel that right leg maybe burn just for a minute. We're not going to be here much longer. Just adding a little action. One more breath. really strengthening those balancing muscles, and release the foot down and just allow the weight to come equally into the feet. Take a moment, observe, maybe notice a little difference from side to side. And then just like we got into that first side, we'll just rock a little bit side to side. Forget what just happened on the first side. Allow the weight to shift into the left foot or just the other foot if you did one side. And then let the right foot just start to float. The floor is always there to just bring the toes back to. And of course, you've got your chair in front of you if you need a little extra support. Find something in front of you that's not moving. And then maybe start to bend the knee, taking the heel towards the butt. If it feels okay, you can flex the foot. This can feel really challenging or really simple or somewhere in the middle. It's actually really helping to strengthen all of these muscles that we use all the time to keep ourselves walking and standing and sitting. Couple more breaths, you've got it. Last one. And release the foot down, let it go. And rock a little bit side to side. And check in. And just start to reach your arms all the way up to the sky. And release the arms down. Reach the arms all the way up. See yourself grow nice and tall. And release them down. One more. Reach the arms up. And release them down. So allow your hands to come back to the back of the chair. And just kind of find a nice rooting with the hands and just start to walk your feet back. So they might go a couple of inches and you might stay here, starting to feel a little hinge at the hips. You might keep going, get a little bit more hinge of the hips. You maybe keep going. You're working towards this upside down L. And it doesn't matter what the L looks like. It can be a little crooked. But just as you start to walk back, feel that hinge at the hips. And just feel an extension of the arms. And really like you're trying to create some space in the side body. And keep your gaze wherever you feel most comfortable. So it might be forward. It might be just allowing the neck to stay neutral. Can be a really nice stretch for the lower back, regardless of how deep your L is. Let's take one more breath. And nice and slow, start to walk yourself all the way in. Release the arms. Feel that expansion on the sides of the body. So we're going to stay standing for one more shape. But this time you're going to turn so that way your right hand is on the chair. And your right hip is towards the chair, the back of the chair. And start to just, again, like we did before when we found that balance, is rock a little bit side to side. We're gonna shift our weight to the right, so the side closest to the chair. And just like we did before, start to lift the left foot. Start to kick the heel towards the butt. You can even kind of lean into the chair. If as you do this, you want a little bit more stability on both hands, feel free to just rotate yourself back to face the chair. This is also a perfect option. If you're feeling adventurous, maybe start to reach your left hand towards your left foot. Now, it literally doesn't have to touch the foot at all. You can just reach. Maybe it finds the pants. Maybe it just kind of like taps the foot and then releases. But feel as if you're trying to open the left chest and roll the shoulder back. Just one more breath. And release the arm, release the foot. So it's kind of like that active dancer's pose. We're working towards that shape, but we're not necessarily trying to connect anything today. We're really just feeling that engagement and that strength. So if you had your right hip to the chair, go ahead and turn yourself around. So that way your left hip is to the chair. And again, you can always just face the chair if you want both hands for support. Just like we did before, you're gonna rock a little bit. Shift the weight into the left foot. Let the right foot start to lift up. Kicking the heel towards the butt. Can stay here or let that right hand start to wave to the foot. Doesn't have to come anywhere near it. I just want to feel that shoulder open. Use your breath, use your power. One more. And release the arm, release the foot. Any movement you want to let it go. So let's start to make our way back to sit in our chair. Take whatever you need on the way there. If you need to shake it off. If you need another movement while you're standing, go for it. And as we come back to the chair, just like we did before, if your feet don't touch the ground, go ahead and slide something underneath the soles of the feet. This helps you feel grounded and supported. Let your hands rest wherever's comfortable. Let's just take a moment to pause in our chair. Let's take one more breath here. Again, that string is at the top of your head. Really feel that lengthening. And let the arms come by your side. So just let the fingertips dangle. Reach the arms all the way up to the sky. So think back to that L shape and like you're trying to create that length through the torso and the sides of the body. And release it down. I stretched so much with that one, it made me yawn. Reach the arms all the way up. And release them down. One more, reach the arms all the way up, but pause. We're gonna add a twist here. So start to bring your hands to the right. So maybe they come to the right thigh. You have an arm rest, maybe they come to the right arm. Maybe they come to both. But I just want you to start to feel like you're kind of rinsing out the spine a little bit. Your neck and gaze can be neutral, or you can start to bring your gaze over your right shoulder. One more breath. As you untwist, reach the arms all the way back up. And let's take the twist the other way. So again, you can come to your armrest, you can come to the leg. You can gaze over your left shoulder or keep your gaze neutral. One more. Untwist as you reach the arms all the way up. And release the arms down. Maybe throwing in a cat-cow here, just moving the spine forward and back, rounding and extending. And if your feet are on something on the ground, you're just going to scoot yourself a little forward on the chair. So the way I want, as far forward as I want you to go is just so that if you extend your leg and let the heel rest on the floor, the leg can actually be straight. So that you can also just kind of keep whatever's underneath your feet forward, or add an extra one so you can have a little extra space. If you sit back a little bit, as you straighten the leg, the foot is just gonna lift, so it's just less comfortable for what our intention is today. So you can keep your feet flat on the ground. You can kind of straighten the leg just to test it, but you don't have to stay there for the moment. And again, just reset yourself up nice and tall. And then just start to extend the right leg. And as you straighten the right leg, you want to make sure the heel's on the floor or on a pillow or a blanket or a pet, whatever is in front of you. So that way, as you engage the leg, so right now I'm flexing my foot so the toes are pointing up to the sky. My muscles can just kind of focus on activating and not like trying to hold my leg up. And then now I just want to relax the foot. I want to feel the muscles release. Really just not working as hard or at all. And then start to flex the foot so the toes come up to the sky. Feel that activation. So we're kind of tensing and then we'll release. Relax the foot. It might take a few moments to consciously relax the muscles of the leg. And it's okay if you can't come into that place where they feel fully relaxed. That's a whole practice in itself. All right, you're gonna flex the foot one more time. And relax the foot, relax the muscles of the legs. Feel as if the muscles are trying to melt away from the bones. And place the foot on the floor. And just do the same thing with the left leg. So go ahead and straighten the left leg. Again, you can have something underneath the heel. So that way you can sit back a little bit more on the chair, or just so that way you can activate and release. So we'll start by flexing the foot. Feel everything activate. So I like to just flex the foot, that just kind of reminds my leg to engage. But if that doesn't work for you, you can also just focus on engaging the muscles. And relax the foot, relax the muscles. Sometimes that first one is the hardest. And flex the foot, activate the muscles. And relax the foot. Try to release the legs. For me, I kind of notice like the muscles around my knee get really engaged. And once I'm able to release that, I kind of just feel like the muscles around my kneecap are just trying to melt. I can feel that let go, and I'm like, oh, okay, I'm not engaging anymore. I've lost count, but let's do one more for good luck. Flex the foot, engage. And release the foot, relax the muscles. And place the foot on the floor. And you can go ahead and scoot yourself back a little bit on the chair. Really just want you to feel stable and supported. Always have anything you need underneath your feet. Take a moment. So go ahead and just cross your right ankle in front of your left. And again, you can have that pillow or blanket or dog underneath your feet. And you can stay right here. Or you can start to slide that right ankle up to the leg. I don't necessarily want it just hanging out on the shin somewhere, unless you feel like you can really relax and put something underneath the right foot. See if you can get it up to on top of the knee, just so that it can rest there. And if it can't, that's okay. Just stay at the ankles. And you can always kind of gently hold your foot there. If you feel like you're working really hard to keep the foot here, though, I want you to come back to the ankles. Your hands can be wherever's comfortable. And slowly start to round the spine. So just like we've done with our cat-cows and at the beginning, round the spine. And then you might even keep that forward as you hinge a little at the hips. Be really mindful. You're just going like a centimeter at a time. Listen to your body when it stops. I went just a couple of inches and I'm good now. Whether your foot is at your knee or at your ankle, you are changing the sensations in the hips and the legs. Don't go so far forward that you feel like you're going to fall, though. I want you to make sure you feel secure. And then just start to lift yourself up. The foot was on top of the knee, let it slide back to the ankle, and then uncross the feet. So switching sides, cross your left ankle over your right. Take a moment. Your sides are going to feel different. You can stay at the ankle or start to slide the ankle up to the top of the knee. Again, just remember that the sides are different. So one side might be able to go higher, one side might not. You can begin to round the spine. And this might be exactly where you stay, just kind of in that rounding motion. Or you might lean a little forward. I really don't even want you to go that far, just a couple of inches at most. Any more than that, no matter how flexible you are, you're going to kind of feel like you're falling forward, and I don't want you to feel like you're falling. Nice and slow, start to bring yourself up. Let the ankle slide back down to the other ankle if it was up. And then uncross the legs. Any movement here. Go a little bit side to side with the torso. A little bit front and back. Even add a little rotation. And let's let the hands come by the side and just start to lean to the right. So you can let the hands dangle, or you can use the arms of the chair if you have them. I want you to just focus on the left side of the body. And then come back up and lean to the left. So it might feel a little crunchy at first, just because we stretched it and now we're compressing it. Really up to you where your arms are, honestly. Just focus on the side body stretch here. You can even reach the right arm up and over. We're going to do each side one more time. Come back to the middle, lengthen, and then over to the right. Come back to the middle and lengthen, and over to the left. And come all the way back up. Maybe roll the shoulders. Any movements here. So maybe a little rounding, a little moving, a little wiggling. Chair is super squeaky, so sorry if you can hear that. So I'm going to invite you to either stay in your chair if you're feeling really comfortable and supported here and happy here. Go ahead and stay here. Make sure you've got something underneath your feet. You can even kind of lean back in your chair a little bit more if you have a nice supportive back. You can always throw a pillow back there. Or you can come to the floor and lay down on the floor if that is what your body is calling for right now. And if you decide to come lay on your back, I'm going to stay in my chair for today. If you do decide to come onto the floor, feel free to slide something underneath the thighs. If you're near a couch or a wall, you can always throw your legs up the couch or the wall just to get a little added support in your lower back. My intention for you here is just to find a place where you can pause for a bit. Where you're not causing more aches and pains in your body or feeling uncomfortable. I really want you to feel cozy and supported. So I'll give you a moment to set yourself up. So before we move into our Shavasana today, we'll move through a body scan. There's no rush to set yourself up. So if I begin to talk and you're not ready yet, that's okay. Take your time. And just start to feel the breath, reconnect to the breath in your body here. Feel the air move in and out. Just start to bring awareness to the back of the skull. To the back of the neck. To the shoulder blades. The right shoulder blade. The left shoulder blade. The space between the shoulder blades. Moving down the back of the spine, through your ribs, into your lower back, into your sacrum, your right glute, your left glute, the back of your right leg, back of the right knee, the right calf, the back of your left leg, back of your left knee, and your left calf. Your right ankle, your left ankle, the sole of your right foot, the sole of your left foot. Bringing yourself back up to the crown of the head. The forehead, the cheeks, the front of your throat, your right shoulder, and top of your right arm, your right elbow, right forearm, right palm, your left shoulder, the top of the left arm, your left elbow, your left forearm, your left palm, your heart space, your right ribs, your left ribs, your belly button, your lower belly, your right hip, your left hip, your right thigh, your right knee, your right shin, your left thigh, your left knee, your left shin, your right ankle, your left ankle, top of your right foot, the top of your left foot, your right toes, your left toes, the sole of your right foot, the sole of your left foot, the soles of your feet, feeling that grounding. Feel as if your feet are rooting down and creating this awareness and this strength through the whole body, all the way up to the crown of your head. And feeling everything release and soften as you allow your body to take in the impacts of your practice this morning. In this final few moments of Shavasana. Slowly starting to bring some awareness back into the space. Noticing your next breath. Bringing some awareness back into the body. Wiggling fingers and toes. Rolling out wrists and ankles. If you're on the floor, and go ahead and slowly start to roll to one side. Taking your time, there's no rush. And eventually bringing yourself up into a comfortable seat. You're in your chair, any movement you need here. And it might even be nice to just stand up. Listen to what your body needs here. And start to bring your hands into your heart center and gently bow your head. Just thanking yourself for your practice this morning. Namaste.